my cutie of the week. And I want to make sure the date is said. So if cuties, if you're listening later, you know what date I'm saying this. This is not from 2012. This is not from 2004. This is from August 23rd, 2024. My cutie of the week is Blake Lively.
Now I know why you kept it a secret on the outline. You did the grand reveal. Speaking of Bravo, like you were PK pretending there was asbestos in the walls. But nope, it's Boy George. Why is Blake Lively the cutie of the week?
The more that comes out about this woman. First of all, so it started with the It Ends With Us feud between her and Justin Baldoni, where he was the director and then she paid Sony, allegedly, she paid Sony to be executive producer to have more power than the director. So then those two were the stars as well. So as he was trying to direct and act in the movie, she was like, actually, no, I want it done this way. And my husband's going to direct the scene also. So like bitchy behavior on set. But I don't know how that turned into what's happening with her now. Yeah, like truly people want her burned at the stake.
Yeah, a witch hunt where they burn her at the stake and she says, I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too. Like, we've caught the witch. The witch hunt has been successful. We've caught her.
But she's not the only witch, and that's what I mean. I don't know why. In fact, you know, I watched Maxine this week, the third of the X-Pearl movies. The movie starts with a quote from Betty Davis that says, "In this business, until you're a monster, you're not a star." Now, I already changed that to be my Twitter header on top of the page. If I had a MySpace, it would be my favorite quote. Like, we're supposed to be turning against this woman as these stories come out, and I am cackling with each one that comes out. And each one brings her to a new level of camp where it like makes it funny to me. The first one that came out was, this is the most controversial, and now it came out that the woman she said it to was infertile at the time, so it's really not funny, but I'm still laughing. Did you see the interview where the woman said to her about a clearly pregnant Blake Lively, but you shouldn't be commenting on women's bodies, so that's her fault. She said to Blake Lively, "Congratulations on your little bump." And then Blake Lively said, "Congratulations on your little bump." And the woman wasn't pregnant, turns out to be infertile now, just called her fat for no reason. That's all Blake Lively was doing.
That was the one where I could see it from both perspectives. Yeah. Now, it has come out that she had already announced her pregnancy. It would have been one thing had she not announced. Pepe loved to tell a waitress, "When are you due?" Again and again and again, he would do it. Again and again and again, he was told by different women, "I'm not pregnant." So that is a different vibe than what happened in this interview. But as somebody who has been pregnant twice and who would have people just come up and touch my stomach, I did start just touching people's stomachs back and smiling at them with a creepy smile. So I'm like, oh, is this what we're doing now? We're just touching each other's bellies without asking. So that was one where I could see both sides of it, but also like, you're doing press, clearly pregnant. There should be some awareness that people are going to comment on you being pregnant.
Yeah, that's true. But I've been watching it every single day. I think it's so funny. And I posted it on my Twitter and said, "Am I the asshole for laughing at this?" And Nora from The Reality Is commented and said, "Yes." And her saying yes has more likes than me asking about it. But I don't care, because guess what? In this business, if you're not a monster, you're not a star.
I don't like that you know that quote now. I don't think that you need to be emboldened to be more of a monster. I don't think that that's something that you needed like permission to be a monster, that you're like, finally, I can be my most true, authentic self. I would argue you've been a monster all along. Charlize Theron who?
Except not as ugly. That's how the witch hunt started. But now truly anyone that ever had any kind of tiff with Blake Lively has been pouring it all out online. So we had an old Gossip Girl interview. Did you see this one? No. It's so good. Lively Hive, rise up. Betty Buzz Buzz. We're here. Okay, so there was an old Gossip Girl interview, and in the books of Gossip Girl, Chuck Bass has a monkey. So the interviewer was like, "Do you think you'll ever add the monkey to the cast?" Whatever. Blake Lively said, "No, I don't think some of us are equipped to work with monkeys." And then she pointed to Leighton Meester and said, "Although I've worked with a few."
Was it said as a
It
joke.
was said like that. Although I've worked with a few.
Yeah, like I feel like that would be if we got to a place of being interviewed. Like you compare our show to being in with the Monkees.
Well, here's the thing, though. Me and you are best friends. They did not get along and didn't like each other. So then Penn Badgley and Chase Crawford like looked at the floor and didn't laugh. And then in the interview, Blake Lively's like, "It's a joke. Get a grip." So it's so good. This is the kind of stuff I live for. Then, okay, this.
No.
This came out yesterday. There was an old written interview in like a teen magazine or whatever where she said, "When I have children, I want them to be little girls. And if not little girls, at least," and then use the slur.
Ending with an NY.
Yep. Yep, that slur. And said, "I at least want them to be that because I have a lot of dresses and bags that shouldn't be wasted."
What the fuck? Like, there was no reason to throw a slur into that question.
No. And now it was never okay. But it was 2009. Like, jokes with that word were on Will and Grace all the time. It was in The Office. Like, we did hear that word at that time often. So I do think it's just part of the witch hunt. They're like, "Oh, she said it then. Let's pull it out and make it bad now." It was bad then. It's funny now. It's not funny. It's not funny.
He says with tears of joy trickling down his eyes. Ooh.
Every story that comes out about her makes me more and more supportive.
This is getting into Leah Michelle territory for you.
That's 1,000%.
Like, you just need her to shit into a wig and she's sealed her fate as like an icon in your eyes.
What really transcended Leah Michelle into that untouchable territory for me is when cast members openly told horror stories about her. Because that's when, like, her coworkers decided, "No, this bitch is done. It doesn't matter. She has no effect on me. We're going to tell how horrible she was." So when Gossip Girl cast members, which none of them follow her on Instagram, she follows none of them back. If any of them start to speak up, that is when Blake Lively will be a goddess in my eye. Put her on Mount Olympus.
Okay. Well, that is certainly a hot take to make her your cutie, because I haven't seen one positive thing about her in the last month. But I will say, you know that I have my very scientific methods of knowing when celebrity couples are awful. And her and Ryan Reynolds have been top of my list for a long time now, because their little shtick of like, we poke fun at each other, happy Father's Day, and then it's like half a face and it's him with another celebrity, like, look how handsome. I, for years, have been saying there's something fishy here. I don't trust it. And so I like the fact that this witch hunt is happening, because I hope there's some collateral damage, and I hope we end up burning Ryan at the stake too.
We were winding down, but you started it, so I'll continue. I do think in interviews, at least, like the monkey thing obviously is rude. The slur obviously is terrible. But I do think a lot of the behavior we're seeing from this press tour is just her giving energy he gives during things. But because he's a man, he gets away with it. But it's a lot of just like sarcasm and being rude to the people he's around. And when he does it, it's like funny. That's what we expect
true.
from Ryan Reynolds.
Look at you with your little pussy hat on.
I'll do anything to save Blake Lively. This is me standing in front of that burning stake like this. Not her! But then when they put me up, I'm like, well, not me either. Relax.
I do think that her behavior on this press tour is particularly egregious given the content of the movie.
Yes.
That she's giving like sarcastic asshole energy in a movie about a toxic, abusive relationship. Like, perhaps we save that one for Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Have any of those girls come out against her?
No. I'm waiting.
Because if one of them speaks out, then that's done.
Maybe she didn't turn evil till she got her nose job.
Happens to the best of us, I guess.